If your mum was here right in front of you, what would you want to say to her?
Yeah, just that I hope she's proud. I hope she's proud of me and the girls. Yeah, just that. So my mum has always been a bit of, she was always a bit of a force. She was a finance director for a surveying firm, and from as long, early as I can remember, I was sort of laying on the floor in her office waiting for her to finish work. She was always really driven. I'd say in terms of her and my dad, she always wore the trousers, for want of a better phrase. She used to love travelling. As she got older, particularly when she didn't have to pay for me anymore, she went sort of travelling to all sorts of different places, sort of Africa, America, that sort of thing. And I think probably my happiest memories really were being away on holiday with her. Obviously, she worked a lot when I was growing up. And at the time, I found that hard because I'd watch my other friends whose parents were there and were able to, be with them doing activities during school holidays. And I was always with the childminder. And at the time, I think I probably resented that. But actually, what it's done, I feel, is sort of made me quite driven as well. And I hope that also translates to my kids. But yeah, I think as a kid, I obviously, because we didn't always get that time, I enjoyed the holidays because it felt like quality time. I think now, looking back, obviously, I wish I'd seen now I wish I'd seen then what I see now, in terms of how successful she was. And I think that sort of fiercely independent streak has carried on even up until sort of this point now. When my mum, because of the way she is and the way she was, when she first started displaying signs of dementia, she was adamant there was nothing wrong, and she was, it was a really quite between my mum and I. It was really quite a fractious time because I'd try and approach her and ask her, is everything okay? Because I've noticed some things that don't feel normal, and she would deny it quite heavily, and it would cause real issues in our relationship. I remember lots of phone calls where she'd hang up on me and she would tell me I'd been ridiculous. And I understand why. Obviously my mum had a lot of pride. She had a lot of pride in what she did. She had a lot of pride in, even how she looked. She'd never leave the house without makeup, without her nails done. She used to get her nails done every 3 weeks. She'd get her hair done. She was a really super proud woman. And so obviously me questioning her and whether she was okay, I can understand how that would have felt for her. I think what obviously she struggled with and has been really hard for us to watch is how that's translated in her dementia and how much she's pushed back on that help. And this is obviously meant for a carers. She's had to have often 2 carers, 3 carers just trying to wash her, dress her, just because she's fought them so much. As awful as this sounds, we're at a point where we're just waiting for her body to give up. And the problem is that she's so determined and independent. I just don't know when that's going to be. But obviously from the care home's perspective, they can't stop giving her, liquid while she's still taking it. So it's, we're just sort of watching and waiting at the moment, which isn't a nice place to be. So with my youngest 2, they are now 7 and 10. And the last time that they saw their nan, my mum, was about 2 years ago. My mum is now end of life, and I'm still not sure about what the right thing to do is, whether to take them to say goodbye or not, because I do want them to remember her as their nana. I don't know if having a last memory of her like this is going to haunt them for the rest of their lives, to be honest. So, I haven't made that decision yet.